Man, we chilling with Japiro, and I'm Roy from Rooftops.com. So, Japiro, what inspired the new mixtape to climb?
Well, the climb kind of ill because my homeboy Aquil basically like been like riding with me like for he been homie since like high school. So he had an idea and he said he want to help me with my next project. So I told him cool, like he would just come through like every Thursday. Him and Eddie, they'd just come through and just chill, and then he'd get the vibe. Just we being homeboys, he can kind of understand where I rap about, where I come from. Right. We from different neighborhoods. So he from East Baltimore, I'm from Northeast Baltimore.
Okay.
So we only 5-10 minutes difference.
Okay.
But it's, you know, you ain't in the same neighborhood, same hood, you don't know what's going on, all with details and all that. So he gave me an idea for this CD that I'm coming out with next. So the idea was for me to drop that, and actually he was going to A&R the project along with you. So I ran with it, and in the midst of doing his idea, I came up with the climb.
Okay.
So basically, before we got to his idea, I just had some thoughts I wanted to get out, and I came up with the climb. Like, the climb just me climbing from the underground into the mainstream.
Very dope mixtape too.
Yeah.
What's your favorite track from it?
I don't know. For me, my favorite one might be the climb, the song The Climb. Like overall, it might be the climb or the song that come before the climb. It's I forget the name of the joint. It's not Mistakes. It's me, Eddie Numbers, and Ray Vic. That might be my favorite joint. Like all the ones with features. Is like my favorites, but the climb is something special about it.
That's your special.
Yeah, so it's like my one. Like the climb mean everything to the mixtape because it's the last song I recorded.
Absolutely.
And I remember I was in here, I'm sitting in here, I had the beat like for my birthday. I was sitting here downloading, just listening to different beats, sitting here mapping them out. I had the climb beat. I sat here, I armed my clothes, listening to the beat. I made the hook, the first original hook. And I rode around the car just saying the hook. I sang the hook for like a month, and I wasn't really feeling it all the way. So I asked, different people like, yo, what y'all think? They like, oh, it's cool. So I'm like, all right, I'm writing the verses. So I had the first verse. I had the first verse for like 2-3 weeks. Then I just like kind of like scrapped the whole thing.
Right.
And then I started fresh. I just took the song and I wrote the verses all the way through. I did everything. I had the verses and everything. So then I actually created the hook again after I wrote the song, because I had the concept in pocket. And I just was talking about basically like how I felt like I always been playing the 6-man, being in a group. And then when I would I did my little studio thing. So I was always the producer, the engineer, and I was downplaying me actually rapping. So a lot of times I fall back on songs or just giving it my 100%, because sometimes I ain't want people to think I'm just trying to go all the way in on that thing, but that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's what I did on the climb. I just felt like I felt just like my man that got traded from OKC to Houston. So I felt just like hard.
You felt like hard?
So like
you had something to prove.
Yeah, that's why like in that verse I say 80, 60 million, 80 million to leave. I mean, hold up. 60 million, 80 the start. Yeah, you know what I mean?
80 million, 80 million to leave. Absolutely.
I'm just making my point.
There you go.
Like, I'm saying, like, y'all gonna give me 60 million to stay here.
Yeah.
I take 80, I start.
Right.
And I'm starting, and I'm still the point guard.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'd
rather just be by myself.
So you wanna continue to keep on scoring these points on.
Yeah, scoring these points quiet, but for sure.
Okay. One question people wanted to know: where did you get the name Japiro?
Japiro, yeah.
Or Japiro?
It's Japiro. Yeah. It's a made-up name, so it ain't nothing that nobody else had. It's really my nickname. Like, my name is James. Nobody calls me James other than if I was in school or I'm at work or something like that, at a job or something. But basically, like in school, everybody called me JP. Like And I gotta clarify this because people always get it twisted. When, like me and my father got the same name, I'm the second. So my mother never called me James. If I did something wrong, that's the only time she might call me James. So if I did some shit in school and it was bad, or I got in trouble, she called me James.
They always call you by your government man when you're in trouble. You know?
And that, exactly. That's basically what happened. So if I did some shit, she not yelling out the house James, she's saying JP, get in the house, get in here when I was a kid. So then when kids would say, JP, they heard her say it. So then like I used to be rapping in the alley around my way. And so then the girl, she was like, it'd be dope if your name was like I don't know if I could transform it into something slick. So she was like Japiro, something like that. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna put this O on here. So I just started writing raps one day, and I was like, Japiro, like that shit sounds smooth, like slick.
Just all mixed together. So a chick.
That's so female,
Basically
gave me that name.
Inspired
my name,
That's a dope story right there. That's an exclusive.
Grandma inspired my name,
Okay.
And she was younger than me, so
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like they
she was ahead of her time.
Yeah.
So check this out. I heard you produce and rap.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do that?
Basically my pockets inspired me to do it. I work, but
ain't not more important than the moolah.
My homeboys, my one homeboy, he had an MPC in '96. Like no nigga in Baltimore had an MPC.
Right.
His mother was in a band, and then my other homeboys that I rap with from school, they had an ASR. So basically what I would do is go to my man's house who had the MPC. My father had all these records, and I would get soul samples and stuff, but I wouldn't share them with nobody because I couldn't record on my own yet. So I would only take little pieces. So I take a record here and there, and I only would bring my records for the shit I wanted. So I would get the best beats. So Wu-Tang was sampling soul joints. They was doing symphony. So as I evolved in making beats, me and my homeboys, that when I got a little bit more into music and I had my own crew, we were sampling classical music.
Okay.
So I left the soul joints alone. Ironically, once an A&R from Murder Inc. told me that the classical music was dope, everybody started killing it. Jermaine Dupri made the joint with Monica. So I couldn't touch it.
I remember that.
Touch it no more.
The joint when Monica had first came back out and got real hot again.
Yeah, when he did that, we got off
of
it because we had to. So we went to soul samples. So we go on soul samples, made beats for Freeway. My man made a joint for Freeway. Same sample. Freeway joint came out.
You also produced a joint for somebody on state property, right?
Yeah, I made a track for. I gave the beats to PD Crack.
Okay.
But Sparks got the track.
Okay.
Sparks
you
called me.
hear this right here?
Yeah.
So this man been working.
So Sparks called me direct to our studio phone. Me and my man, we drove to DC. I ain't had no gas. I drove all the way to DC. I called my homeboy. My homeboy had Sparks and Oskino number. Sparks the only one that answered the phone. Sparks got tired. We went to their room, but they was all asleep. Sparks, Oskino, Young Chris, and then we ended up running into, because Sparks said give it to PD Crack. So we was like, all right, cool. So we met PD Crack at a Kansas Fried Chicken in DC. Him and his manager standing on the corner. PD Crack, and I ain't gonna forget, because the nigga had a herringbone. In 2001, the joint was like this.
Yeah.
That thick, because they was
money right there.
This was around, it might have been the first Day Property album came out, the second one ain't come out yet. So that's basically
the soundtrack
to the movie. So that's what I was reaching for. Sparks put out his own mixtape. My joint was on there, so not a lot of people heard it. So that's at that point, I was on my soul sample tip, and I kind of start changing it up since then. So I bounce back and forth.
Yeah,
that's what hard is.
The soul samples are beautiful. Yeah, definitely beautiful. So what do you think? What's your plans for the next maybe 3 to 5 years in this rap game?
Well, my goal definitely is like, I got a crew. And the difference between my crew that I had and my brothers, I love them, you know, being in a group versus me controlling what I want to do now. Like, you know, it's other up and coming artists or artists that I'm all kind of growing with. So what I want to do is just work on my fan base. And I built like a decent fan base, but I'm still not happy with the amount of fans that I have. I just want more. I need more.
Absolutely.
More people gotta hear what I'm talking about. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So, just the goal is just branding. You know, I got the music. As far as me writing, I'm an artist, so I create a lot of the hooks. I find a lot of the samples when I do songs with other people, my songs, other people's songs. I create the beats, the tracks, produce it. Sometimes I even record them and engineer them. So, you know, the bigger, the better I get, the less stuff I'll probably be hands-on with. I mean, I might be hands-on with it, but not physically touching everything. So the goal is just to make better music, get bigger, maybe shop a lot more songs to some industry, people that's higher up than I am on the totem pole. And just branding, you know, maybe with my wine, expand that joint, my wine company, do some more with that. And I got some
Got a wine company?
Yeah, it's called Taste the Collins.
Let them know, man. Let them know.
Yeah, Taste the Collins. The Twitter account's there. You know, I try not to put too much out there on the wine, but when it's out there, like it go fast.
Yeah.
But the wine ain't really my focus, but I got that as like a piece.
You got any websites that you want to let them know about too?
I got OtisTrillJr.com. That's my Tumblr blog. So Otis Trill Jr. pretty much, you know, you'll see me, Ray Vic, VIP Gutter, Eddie Numbers, you know, Rich Randy, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much that's it. Or Al Great or Deuce Wayne, like my circle and Ellis. Like it ain't really going outside there. I try to keep all Baltimore artists. I try to make sure I can put.
Try to keep everything together.
And everybody I do features with, and people that show me love and support me and get me to help them when they got shows. Okay. I support them, so I'm putting them on Otis Trill Jr. That stuff gonna be there.
Let them know where they can get your mixtape from.
They can get The Climb from theclimbmixtape.com. If you go there, you can also get Conspiracy if you ain't get The Climb. So you gotta kind of listen to Conspiracy to understand The Climb. I mean, even if you dive into The Climb, you gonna want to go back to Conspiracy.
You gotta understand your story, your struggle.
Right.
From the bottom.
From the bottom.
So you basically, The Climb is about you pulling up on that ladder a little bit more, right?
Yeah, The Climb was me pulling up on that ladder. Like, I had to come out of the Japiro. I built that idea since I've been rapping. So everybody know me as that. So when I got to Otis Trill, it's like, I'm grandfathered into this. You know what I'm saying? That's my grandfather named Otis. He died in 96. I started rapping in 96, like going to the studio. So it's like to him. So when I get back into the mind of Japiro, like my site, jpiro.com, only pretty much had my stuff on there. So I try not to be selfish because there's other people and other artists that's doing what I'm doing and we've been working hard.
So try to show love to everybody. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap this up. We'll be back for another part 2 of this.